but you can still get accommodations. So as long as you can still do the job, what you got? Yes, like, and that's one of the biggest things. Like it counts on like we do normally around this area, but we want to branch it out because, like I said, that's something that is very. I have a passion for getting to the high schoolers and letting them know what your teacher says not right. Like you can still get accommodations. So I do want to, like I said, be a presence so that they can still get the accommodations. It's not a delay. One of the biggest things is that you can, like I said, you can use. You're an adult. You can choose when you need to use them. So if you use them, you use them. If you don't, you don't. But again, having them in place. Any other question? What you got?
I don't know if I can answer this question, but what kind of like funding do y'all get? Like, do y'all get adequate enough funding for pursuing those initiatives, like reaching out to high schools and stuff like that?
That is, but I love it. Well, a long answer, yes and no. A short answer, yes and no. So some of because we are federally, and we're federal department. So basically, that 80. Do y'all know about ADA? Okay, so it's a federal law that says that 504 is one of the laws or sections of it where students can, if they need accommodations, they have to get them. Okay, so it's still the same with higher education. So we do have some funding now because of budgets. It is a little bit harder. It's okay. So, let me just put this out there. Okay, so deaf or hard of hearing students, one of our biggest budgets because they have interpreters, they have to have cards, they have to have captioning, and it's hard, but we get it done. You know, something might get cut back because, like, okay, so we can't get some of the swag things. We can't get that because we gotta make sure that our deaf and harder students are having something. You know, one of the biggest things is making sure you get accessible bathrooms. Like that is a big thing. And I've been here. I know we finally got them in the UC. It was hard. But we got it done. But it was hard. And funding does come up to us a lot. What you got? Mhm. That's an ongoing question all the time. Well, this is the thing. The biggest thing is having a seat at the table. Okay. It's having a seat at the table is very important because if we're not invited to those conversations, then all of a sudden, well, we have to switch up the high school. If you would have so it's all about communication, and we're fighting hard to be seen on the table. Uh, oh wait, this is hard. Oh Lord, I didn't grab my hands. So it's happening. Slowly, push faster, but slowly, but it's happening. But that's one of the biggest things is that having a seat at the table and sharing those things about what will be in the best interest of the campus as a whole, and being accessible for all the students. So, anything? Yes, we're on all, I want to say 5 campuses. So yeah, okay, yeah. And so even with UT Health Science Centers, we was actually on their campus before we merged with them. So the Houston campus, we do have resources. We still meet with our students from the Houston area. And so it's the same thing, same process and everything. We'll meet with you on Zoom. We can also talk to your professors on Zoom. So yeah, and sometimes I have gone down there. So in case it needed to happen. So yeah, same thing. Yeah. Anything else? No problem. Thank you.
All right. Oh gosh. If you want to put them up here by the cupcakes, people can grab them. Thank you so much. Adorable. Fun fact for y'all. And if you go anywhere cool, I collect stress balls. So just saying. All right, let me share the agenda again. Okay, moving along to officer reports. For me, last week, I had a bunch of meetings. Y'all know how that goes. Midterms, also crazy. And then Jennifer and I have just been doing a lot of coordinating for a midnight breakfast tomorrow, which we think is going to be super fun. Much bigger than it has been, which is exciting and also very stressful. So we will move on to VP Stepnaw. How cute are those? I can't.
All right. So report is that I'm apologizing to Landry and Ashland for filling their office with balloons. I'm so sorry. It had to happen. I'm sorry. Casey's not sorry. Okay. We're getting ready for midnight breakfast. That's happening tomorrow. On Thursday, I will not be attending anything. Don't ask me any questions. I will be sleeping. But yeah, we're gonna have a really good time. It's gonna be super fun. You're all gonna like it.
I have been updating the website. The frequently asked questions are on there now for the fee increase. Thank you. Thank you. Josh put on the presentations. I put one up, but the other one wouldn't go up for me. Of course, it went on for Josh. And I guess the rest is in my committee report.
Word,
Say it again.
it's your turn.
Okay. Actually, I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple questions. Which one is this? Oh, officer reports. So after meeting with Josh, I got my mask on. I'm sorry. After meeting with Josh, I came across a couple of things that we may need to change. First off, you guys just recently went to. Lost connection. So first off, you guys recently went to the what campus was that? Palestine. Recently went to Palestine. So I have the distance campus events budgeted at $300. Are you guys considering going to another campus anytime soon? Do you think I need to change that? Because you guys bought like $100-something of pizza, and that's just cut the thing in half. But what I did was I put that budget in another column. So that budget line is not touched. So it's still at $300 today. But my question is, am I allowed to redo the budget sheet? Because I came across this error, which is the district campus events is at $300. I didn't know if that was so significant, but I think it will be if you guys go to another campus.
Hold on, I'm getting the response. Okay, we don't have anything planned at this time, but if you need to update the budget, then we need to just make another presentation for it.
Okay.
And we could talk about that later.
Okay. Okay. Student travel budget, just to let you know, has $800 left. And also, if anybody knows, if Joshua's online, is Joshua here today? Josh
He's not.
No, Josh's not. Okay, Josh's not here. So I want to know when does the district this whatever however you say it, golf course project going to be ready to launch, so I can get that ready in the budget sheet and see if it really going to cost 14,000. Hopefully, cost less, so I can move on some other fund somewhere else.
It's
So
not
that's
going to
all
cost
I-
less.
Okay, dang.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the
That
SGA
is-
phones.
Or let me interrupt you. So that project was approved as a two-part thing, 12,000 for last year, 14,000 for this year. Therefore, like that number is set. It's not going to go up or down, which is really in our favor because if we got a quote today for concrete with the price of everything right now, it'd be much higher. So essentially by approving it as a two-part thing, they were hoping to lower the cost for this year, which is what has happened, but that 14,000 is not going to change. As far as timeline, I need to check on that because it's probably going to be in the spring at this point, just because concrete has to be during dry weather and we've just hit rainy fall season. So it's unlikely that that will be done before the spring.
Okay. Oh, and when do the SGA phones get charged?
No idea. You'd have to ask Josh.
I gotta talk to Joshua. All right. Well, other stuff is for the committee side. So thank you.
Great, thanks. I'll get this back now. Laundry.
So what? Bubbles? Oh, okay, got you now. Yeah, making more fun of me. So this week met with rules committee and we went over we're going to go over it today, but we went over the language for the fee increase proposal, and then I got messages back from Vice President Tolliver about the previous changes that we had made to the Constitution, and she had a couple suggestions which I think are very strong suggestions, and so I'll likely present that later. I don't know if it'll be next week. It probably will be next week, I guess. And that's what I've been up to.
Anybody want to take a guess what events committee's been doing?
There are so many balloons. Yes, correct. Afternoon breakfast. Let's see. We've got 9 orgs on campus signed up to host tables, which is very exciting. Everybody has an assigned place, which you will find out when we hold you for ransom after this meeting. Right, correct. $1 billion each. Not even Jeff Bezos could pay all of that. Actually, I don't know how much is he worth? He's worth a few hundred billion. Yeah. Okay. Not relevant. Sorry. We're blowing up a lot of balloons. There's a balloon arch outside of the students because that's the only place I could figure out to store it. And tomorrow, if you're not busy, if Robert and Adon would stop talking, if help me decorate the UC. We're just going to be sporadically putting balloons up everywhere in the UC and confusing people. So that's what's happening tomorrow. And the rest of it will be while we hold you hostage.
If you haven't already, if you have a social media presence, if you can share about Midnight Breakfast. A lot of people I've talked to today, like, Midnight what?
Yeah, literally, even if you have 3 Twitter followers and one is the Squirrels account.
Very specific, very specific.
I wasn't looking at anybody in the room when I said that.
Yeah.
It was me.
So just share it. We haven't widely advertised this, but the last 30 minutes, if you complete a survey about how SGA is doing, you'll be able to pie an executive board member in the face.
It's actually just 3 executive board members and Josh Eves.
I'm allergic to fragrance, so we'll see what happens. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, a lot of students will participate. And I'm really hoping that that'll be a good chance for us to get some feedback on things that we can address. So definitely feel free to advertise that. Let your friends know. We're going to have a lot of breakfast and a lot of things to do. So,
Yeah, Zeta's hosting face painting. That's exciting.
yep. Yep.
Oh, and the Studio Art and Art History Association is going to be hosting tie-dye t-shirts. So we're
Yeah.
going to make sure that everybody gets a break from the Met if they want a tie-dye t-shirt.
Yeah, we have extra people, so we'll do some rotations and we'll talk about that later. But we have tie-dyeing, Uno, Connect Four, face painting, lawn games. And then the Dean of Students office is going to talk about My SSP, which is the new counseling program. And if you show that you signed up for that, you get entered into a raffle for swag. So bookstore stuff. It'll be fun. Okay, moving on to communication.
We did a table this week by the bookstore. Me and Valerie did for the fee increase. So y'all have been doing midnight breakfast. We've been doing the fee increase. We're doing that. I've been posting and I put everything on the website, obviously, about the fee increase. And that's pretty much it. The ballot goes out next week, so make sure to tell people.
Ord, it's your turn again. Ord?
Okay, so for SGAC, last week, because we haven't met this week, so we approved 3 people. We have 2 people, I'm sorry. We approved HSA for $400. And then we also approved an organization called WIMS for a max amount of $60. So yeah, that's all I have for AGAC.
For rules, like I said earlier, we went over the language for the fee increase, and then we talked about potential upgrades or changes to the Constitution in the foreseeable future.
I'm going to talk while I'm walking about GSA. We'll just go out of order. So GSA, we met on Thursday, had a really productive meeting. Lots of good feedback from Health Science Center students. So I'm making a visit out there on Friday, going to tour, talk to some people, and kind of get a feel for what they're wanting in terms of engagement. Fun fact, they're still online and hybrid. So the biggest thing I heard was some opportunities for in-person mingling. I don't know. We'll say mingling because I'm a grandma, but basically opportunities just to chat with their peers. So I think that that's definitely something we could easily facilitate.
So we had a very productive meeting last week. It wasn't actually an official ESC meeting, but basically we were able to determine basically when we are going to do this clothing drive. I'm sorry, I'm having to like work with my jaw here. I got my wisdom teeth out. I'll shut up now. Basically, it's probably going to be Earth Day next year. We have an org that we need to reach out to here in Tyler. We're looking for options for Houston. And I feel like I'm missing something specifically about the clothing thing, but we also have. Oh, yes. Yeah, that basically what we're probably going to do is have kind of as an admissions, or not admissions fee, but entry fee. Basically just bring a new pair of, or new package of socks, underwear, etc. And then we also have the recycling bins going into some of the housing soon, but I can't take credit for that. But that's happening. So.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a very productive meeting. It was me, Landry, David, and then Bonnie Davis from facilities and Katie Perez Hernandez from Residence Life. We had a very good conversation. They're going to take on the sort of informal role of an advisor for that committee, even though it's not a student organization, just to build that formal connection to the administration side of things. Because Bonnie is the one who manages recycling on campus, and that's a really helpful connection. Okay, moving on to student voice reports. Let's rock and roll. So student body at large, raise your hand. Okay. just pass it to Alicia on your desk.
I haven't heard, there's not been too much. The fee proposal is definitely like getting out there to people. Like I had someone come in the office today, wanted to put up a flyer about it. So that's, people are hearing about it. So good job, everybody. And then midnight breakfast too is, I've heard a lot of people talk about that. So
Yeah, the midnight breakfast and everything. I would say also a concern is parking. I'm gonna put that out there. And actually you mentioned the whole parking area that used to be in front. I just recently found out about that and I'm like, did they ever, since they took away 300 spots, have they, okay, there. Oh, perfect. Perfect timing. We gotta figure out a better microphone system. We ought to have just the individual microphones, but that's expensive.
So the freshmen's are good. A lot of people are getting sick, and the clinic is pretty stocked up. Not me, but a lot of other like freshmen. And then I know the clinic has been very full with like other outsourcing patients, and then other people in the walk-ins and stuff. But other than that, freshmen's are good right now. So.
Okay, Houston friends, whatever order y'all want to go in.
I can go first. As far as the Houston Center, I did get one student come up to me and kind of bring up tutoring. I know it's kind of late for this semester, but tutoring for, I guess, any of the courses here, preferably in-person tutoring would be best for any of the engineering courses. And another topic that got brought up to me was, so we're getting a lot of emails from Mark Stark pertaining to companies visiting the campus and kind of like the career fair, but we feel like there's not that many opportunities for the Houston Engineering Center. So I don't know if that needs to be like coming from the Houston campus, like everybody emailing him, but there is interest for like more companies, a larger career fair, interaction with companies, meeting with companies, and or even in-person resume, kind of resume checks, and then in-person mock interviews that we can do here in Houston.
That's a really good point. Let's work on that, Justin. Also, I just want to say to y'all, kudos to Justin. There are a couple of university committees that specifically requested Houston representation, and one of them I'm not even able to make. So Justin's been rocking it by himself, and I'm very proud of that. So kudos to you. Okay. Omar Luis.
Well, the same response as Justin as regarding the career fair. I know Justin was in contact in LinkedIn with some people from Kimley Horn. So yeah, if we could get into some more engineering firms in our career fair, so our students can, get those opportunities, would be great. Go Strobes.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into that. Have you guys gotten a good response about the water filter?
Yeah, we did. Well, Justin actually took a picture of that earlier and sent it out to all the students in our center. Thank you so much, Justin.
Good. I'm really glad to hear that. The funny thing is I emailed Dr. Garcia to see what was possible, and then that happened and I had never heard from him. So I was sort of surprised, but I'm glad that they put something in for y'all. Okay. Let's see, moving on here. Okay. Victory Village. And then, that's fine.
Hey, it's Beverly.
So the Victory Village in Building 4, at least, whenever, so this is the entrance. So whenever you're pulling out, that brush in the left side kind of covers the passing cars. So I don't know if it's like our land or if we can contact the city of Tyler to like trim it or like cut it or do something about it. The same thing with like the grass whenever you're exiting the county road, but they did trim that I think 2 weeks ago. So I think we're good on that. And then we don't have an RC anymore, the resident coordinator. So I don't know when we're gonna get a new one or when I'll be able to meet with them. And then the newer RAs, they aren't really following protocols whenever you call about noise complaints and stuff like that. I know Kiera was supposed to talk to them about it, but I don't know if she did. And this was today that was being said. So yeah.
The pothole by the gate is apparently a big issue too. We may need, if there's not an RC, we may need to talk to Scott. If you want to reach out to him, you can. If you want me to, I don't mind doing that either. And then last but not least, for student voice reports, we have Beaver Mohall.
I don't really have anything. A couple of weeks ago, people were complaining about the washer and dryers not really doing their job right, but they took a day and cleaned them or whatever. I don't really know, but they seem to work fine. And there was like smell issues, like people will cook stuff in their microwaves that just smell really strong, but they put like air fresheners in the hallways to help. So yeah, it was not great. The 5th floor was it just smelled like noodles for like a whole week. It wasn't a pleasant smell at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. That's it.
Who's making microwave curry? I'm just saying, if you're making microwave curry, you deserve better. What do you want? To what? Which one? Oh, okay, great. Oh, that happens like all the time. That's how it goes. It used to be like when I lived there, we were just used to like twisting our clothes out before putting them in the dryer. It's really messed up if you think about it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody have anything to add to old business? I'll go back to my ASMR too. I'm sorry, y'all. This is on record too. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. The only thing we have for new business, like Landry has alluded to multiple times throughout the meeting, we're gonna talk about the proposed language for the ballot that comes out next week. Beep, 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 beep. Here it is. All right. So Houston Friends, y'all know we have those 2 proposed fee increases. It's going on a ballot. It will go to y'all too. Just so you guys know, if students ask on your campus, the rec sports fee is not paid by Houston students. The other distance campuses do pay that one, but the Houston campus does not, and all campuses pay the athletics one. Does that make sense? Can I get a thumbs up from the Houston Senators? All right. 2 out of 3 is good enough. Okay, so I just want to make sure you guys are clear on that. We had to look it up because they had said that everyone pays it. That is not the case. The rec sports one is not paid by Houston students. Okay, do you want to talk about this?
I went and looked at previous years' wording whenever it came to these questions, and a lot of the responses when it came to the athletic fee specifically was that it was kind of biased. And the reason was because, let me actually scroll down just a little bit. It was kind of a small reason, but it was a reason nonetheless. Whenever it said right here where it says this fee would go towards, it would say like this fee supports UT Tyler's NCAA intercollegiate athletics. So I pretty much just changed this would go towards. And then in previous years, it also wouldn't really explain that it was capped at a certain number. And so I wanted to make sure that that was as clear as possible in this year's. And so I made sure that people understood that it will be going from 270 to 300 as far as capping. And then it would stay at 300 regardless of number of credit hours a student takes. There's not a reason. I sent this language over to Josh in an email for the athletic fee and then also for the rec sports. And this is the order he put it in. I think it doesn't really matter. I mean, this is just the order that they had it in previous years too. So do you have something? Okay. Okay. So Casey said that it might be worth it to include what the current cap is right now, which is 240. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then this is for the rec sports fee increase, which is a lot more straightforward. It's a $30 increase, and it's just stating how it's going to be increased over time. But yeah. Any questions, comments, concerns? Just statements. It's a good day. No, the nature of it is that way. So like, yeah.
I would like to entertain a motion to vote to approve this with the one small addition of the current cap to that one. Okay, said
motion. Casey just entertained a motion to approve of the language with 240 being added into. You can have the mic.
Okay. I entertain a motion to approve the ballot as it is with the small addition of the current cap in the athletics language. And it was carried by VP Stabenow and seconded by Robert Bennett. Sorry. Anyway, okay, so all in favor, please say aye, raise your hand, or do a thumbs up emoji. All opposed, please say nay, do a different emoji. And any abstentions? Okay, so just make that one small change and you're good to go since we approved it that way. Also, Houston Senators, just so you guys know, like I said, you guys don't pay the HEC, the rec sports fee at the HEC, but you do get to vote on it. So the students on the Houston campus will still get a vote on both. And the reasoning for that is that, you know, hypothetically, and this is not based on any plans, if the university were to move to a point where everyone were paying that, then they would have still had a say in what the increase or lack thereof is. I know that was very vague, but do you guys get what I mean? Okay, all right, great. I'd like to entertain a motion to close the discussion on that topic. Entertained by VP, or well, you know what I mean. Motion by VP Stabenow, seconded by Senator Vargas. Okay, thank you guys for that. Does anybody have anything to add to new business? All right, great. Josh is not here. Announcements. We'll do Senator of the Week in a second. Midnight breakfast is tomorrow. Trunk or treat on Sunday. If you signed up for that, please make sure you have a what? It's at 5. Yes, my apologies. I thought I changed it. It's at 5. We'll send out more information. Landry is going to use his truck. He was very kind to do that. But that means that if you signed up to do the car, have your pumpkin patch themed costume. If you need help, let me know, financially or otherwise. And if you're doing the carnival games with me and Adon, we'll coordinate with you. And if you live on campus, please walk to the Cowan Center. We'll talk about that too, but they're trying to limit the number of vehicles with the amount of traffic. Obviously, you're going to drive. Okay, and then Arbor Day is November 6th. David and I will for sure be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be planting trees. They're going to have lunch. It's one of my favorite events on campus. It's a good way to give back. And we're actually a Tree Campus USA, which means that we meet a certain level of distinction in terms of greenness and trees. So that's a big deal. Not many campuses have that. And this is one of the ways we maintain that. The sign up is through GivePulse. You should have gotten an email about it. If you need the link, let me know. But we'd really like to have a lot of people there. You get a shirt. It's a lot of fun. And then next week we'll have College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business, and Patriot Village. Any other announcements? You're allowed to talk anytime. These are just the people we're requiring to go. So you're welcome to talk. Also, Big Man on Campus is happening this weekend on the 30th. What time is it, Belle? At noon? Okay, it's at noon. All right. Let's do Senator of the Week. I'm not really sure how best to do this. Okay. There's not a way to delete we'll just do it like this. All right, so for being proactive and involved in all SGA activities, our Senator of the Week is Robert Bennett. Yay! Congratulations. We've been missing out on a couple, but we'll take your picture next to the thingy. We also have cupcakes because we've had a ton of birthdays. Let's see, we've had Precious, Chloe, Ethan, and then this week is Alicia and Adalia. I feel like I'm missing someone. Ashlyn, yes, on Sunday. So I brought Halloween themed cupcakes. I brought a glove, so I'll serve them, but you guys are welcome to them. Sorry, Houston Senators. I still owe y'all a pizza as well. We'll work on that. So, okay. Houston Senators, you guys are good to go. We're just going to talk about midnight breakfast. So I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.